Let me start my presentation by presenting the problem. So, in revisiting historical events, the narratives are often centered to human figures. And this human figure considered to be the actors of historical phenomena, uh, and also life stories, biographies, and personal accounts provide detailed account of the individual and collective action and offers insight into sociocultural dynamics of prevailing attitude of the time. However, conventional history has a problem. It often merely highlights grand narratives and significant turning points orchestrated by prominent figures. While this dilemma, no, we have this kind of dilemma, um, it can sometimes overlook the experiences of ordinary people who live through the historical movements. The study of history by foregrounding the experiences and contribution of ordinary people aligned with aligned to this principle, um, which is studying about which is the normal masses. And this study, this study uh, the study of history by foregrounded experiences. This study tried to contextualize the historical period in history characterized by intense conflict, suffering, and destruction. This study explores Japanese occupation of the Philippines from 1942 to 1945, part of wider World War II conflict in Asia Pacific. So this is the background. And of course, after Japan attacked the Pearl Harbor in 1941, the occupation led to widespread atrocities and economic exploitation during that time. Filipino soldiers and guerrilla groups such as Vincent's Traveling Guerrilla, which is one of the famous uh, guerrilla group organized in Bicol region, which is uh, uh, organized here in Camarines Norte, played crucial roles in resisting Japanese forces through the sabotage operation. Despite of significance of this resistance effort, many local narratives remain untold. Although this remain untold, because study focus on prominent battles, of course, efforts to preserve veterans' memos such as Veteran History Project in US and Philippine Veterans Affairs Office highlight the importance of personal account by understanding the history. So, Mares et al. And Prosser emphasize the integrating veteran stories into educational curricula to provide more personal understanding of the event. So these studies revisiting Japan's occupation in the life of World War II veterans highlight the life experience of selected veterans from Camarines Norte through the accounts of significant others or the relatives and relevant available documents. This study employed qualitative research within the framework of historical research design for data gathering and interpretation. This involved interviews, source criticism, thematic analysis, and historical contextualization to extract meaningful insight and perspective from the veteran stories of Japanese occupation. Anchored to the principle of history from below because it focused merely on the masses, on unknown veterans, not so popular veterans, and local history because it focused on Camarines Norte, not a national area. No, so a narrative theory also was used, of course, because it's more on interpreting the story or interpreting their experiences. This study aimed to preserve and honor the wartime memories by proposing supplementary learning material that can be accessible or that can be easily understood by the students and other learners. So by preserving their legacy and highlighting their vital role in Philippine liberation, this study aimed to continue to contribute to more inclusive historical narrative and ensuring this veterans' legacy were not forgotten and continue to inspire future generation. So this is the main objective. Of course, the study explore the main stated of our problem or the main objective of this study. The study explored the life experiences of four veterans of Camarines Norte during the Japanese occupation through the accounts of their significant others or relatives and relevant available documents. It's answered the following question, of course. What are the narratives of the veterans' experiences based on the accounts of significant others and other sources? What are the commonalities and differences of accounts from the life experiences of the World War II veterans? And of course, what is the proposed supplementary material for this result of this study? So as part of a presentation and analysis and interpretation of my data, is here is a summary only of the narratives of the veterans. So during the occupation, Godofredo Patesa Sr., a 15-year-old grade school student, was evacuated to a man-made tunnel to escape the Japanese fortress. His believed amulet served as a survival charm during his first enemy encounter. Trained in military, he joined the Torco Buayes guerrilla group as spy, providing valuable intelligence from the Japanese garrison and witnessing the suffering of prisoners of war in Japanese atrocities. His contributors and experiences were supported by the narrative from his son, Godofredo Pitesa Jr., and primary sources. Felicissimo Andrade, a civilian volunteer trainee of Philippine Scouts, became the planning officer for guerrilla resistance and Paracal. A college graduate, Andrade's educational background led to strategic role as a guerrilla unit, which significantly disrupted the Japanese supply lines in Paracale, a region which is a rich in gold deposit targeted by the Japanese. His story, enriched by the accounts of his son, Fortunato Andrade, highlighted the dedication of his father for the cause of liberation. So Alfredo Lorenzo, a chief mechanic and driver, utilized his skill learned from his father to support the American military resistance during that time, recruited to transport food, medical supplies, to American headquarters. Lorenzo's story highlights the hardship and occupation, including the scarcity of supply and danger to collaboration in Japanese capture. His experiences were detailed through the memories of his daughter, Melba Corbulan, and corroborated by historical records as well. Lope Tambor, the 13-year-old son of Cabeza de Barangay, or 19-year-old son of Cabeza de Barangay, chose to join the resistance despite being protected from Japanese authorities. He trained under the 44th Infantry Scout. Lope Tambor served as a mechanic and driver, crucially as supplying weapons and leading Filipino-American troops. So Faustini Pancho naman, vivid by fear from the constant threat of Japanese atrocities, defied by parents, opposition, and lasted as a radio operator and mechanic assigned to various headquarters. Pancho's narrative includes escapes and techniques to outsmart the Japanese, including the near-death experience during the New Year's Eve raid in Cabanatuan during that time, as told by his daughter, Mary Carvajal, and supplemented by other sources emphasizing his determination. These are the example of my sources or supported sources, pictures, records of the veterans and other memorabilia of the veterans. So as part of number two objective, I it reveals commonalities and differences in terms of their life experiences, but most prevalence is the commonalities. No? All of their accounts saying that there's a lack of necessities in the locality of Camarines Norte. Importance in planting for sustenance is very much important. Japanese raid, betrayal among Filipinos was very prominent. And rampant banditry in the community, resiliency and perseverance is needed during the time. Joining the resistance movement as a means, joining the resistance actually is the means for protection for them and for massive fear and fatalities was very rampant also in the locality of Camarines Norte. So in terms of differences, of course, they have different Japanese encounters. No? And roles and resistance, they have different roles and resistance as you observe, and also their social background. Of course, that leads to their different experiences. So as number three objective, the proposed supplementary material for this study is a booklet, no, where narratives revisiting Japanese occupation through the lives of Camarines Norte War veterans is the title of this booklet. The transport reader and the time of Japanese occupation experiences underscores resilience, unwavering commitment, and freedom to define pivotal period in Philippine history. And of course, recommendation, conducting academic researches, continue study about the veterans of Camarines Norte and other places, and also oral history projects of the communities. And the problem number two, of course, uh, more on the conclusion, the prevalence of common themes, of course, suggests that the depiction of social context during the occupation was consistent across the different individuals. These commonalities indicate that despite of individual differences in background, specific roles, veteran experience were shaped by a set of universal challenges and responses both by the Japanese occupation and the community of Camarines Norte locality. And also, collaborative research project and community involvement empowerment are suggested to be done. So, problem number three, of course, the narratives of selected veterans used as a source of creation of supplementary learning material contributed to localizing the experiences of memory of Japanese occupation. This made knowledge much suggested, uh, part of the study. So that's all. I hope from my presentation you understand the value of the narrative, historical narrative, and local history of our uh, local.